we just ask that you would be with us for the rest of our time as we kind of dive in and learn a little bit more about the money and the market um, and the way, the door that you have opened up for us to be able to provide and take care of ourselves and our families. And so, God, we thank you for who you are and what you do. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. All right. So, tonight is going to be a little informative, but a little laid back. And so, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to introduce, when we get into the computer work, I'm not going to introduce anything new. We're going to go right back over the stuff that we covered last time because I want to make sure everybody gets it. I don't want anybody left behind. We need to explain it and explain it again and explain it and explain it again until it becomes normal, until it becomes habit. Okay? And so a couple things that I want to share with you guys is this. So today, I did something I don't normally do, and so I'll just say I took a gamble, which is I told y'all we don't gamble, but I took a gamble, and but it was a calculated risk. So Meta, right here, and so Meta is Facebook, right? Their name is Meta. And so they had an earnings call after market today. And so the last earnings call they did last year, they it was a fantastic earnings call except for one piece. They had this huge tax payment or something that they had to make, which messed up the money a little bit. And the market overreacted and dropped them $100 the next day. And then they've been kind of going down and kind of fluctuating ever since. That's why I was telling Bonita about it. I was going to text you earlier, then I was like, I'm going to just tell her tonight. So I hope you got some Meta. So what happened is today they did an earnings call. And so I took out two options contracts on Meta. And I got to explain options to you guys. But I took out two options contracts on Meta. And my bet is that they would have a good earnings call. And if the earnings call is good, more than likely, stock will shoot up. If it's a bad earnings call, more than likely, stock will shoot down. If the stock shoots down, so these two calls, right? This is a number of contracts that I have. Those two contracts cost me $5,100. So I made a $5,100 bet. So they did the earnings call today. They killed the earnings call. The stock starts shooting up after market. It got, I think, as high as $69 or $70 up from the closing price. So in the morning, everybody is waiting to see if that's going to hold until the morning, and then we want to see how much it's going to run. I'm hoping we run back up that $100 that the market dumped. And so why am I telling you guys this? Because this play right here, right, I think Meta is at, what are they at right now? 670 or something like that?
In the 680s, right there, 668.73.
668, okay? They're at 668. So maybe what I'll do is I'll explain options to you guys, not in detail, but I'll explain a little bit of it, just so you can get an understanding of how it works. And then later on, we'll get into the deep details of options. But I don't want to be talking over you guys' heads, okay? And so So let me do this. Let me explain what I'm explaining now. We'll jump to some current events that I want to explain, and then we'll jump back into options. I'll give you a brief overview of what options are, and then we'll get into the computer work. We good? Okay. All right, here we go. So the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because if this thing holds up, right, and we open up the market tomorrow and they open at $30, $40, $50 higher than where they were, my $5,100 will likely turn into 15 to 20,000, right? If that happens, I will have made that in 24 hours, right? Just by having that position, okay? So now I also own shares of Meta, which I probably should have been buying more when the stock was lower. But but my shares of Meta will also go up, right? And so so right now, what is it? It's 668. So I know right now it's over 700 post market. I think because I think it was up to almost $70, but I think it came down post market, and then now we're waiting. Everybody's waiting to see what it's going to do in the market tomorrow. But let's see. Okay, here we go. Boom. Meta. Okay, there we go. Right. So, oh, they took it off. Okay, so it was at 668. It closed at 668. It was down $4.24 for the day. But then you see right here, right? It went down when the market closed, hit here, it bottomed out here, right? At 649. But then they reported when the earnings came out, that thing shot bow all the way up. It reached a high of about 740, somewhere around there, and then now it's settled at about 713, 714, somewhere around there. So we'll see what happens when the market opens tomorrow and what it does throughout the day. Okay? This is the power of the earnings call. Remember I had you guys listen to an earnings call last week or 2 weeks ago? And so the reason why is because this is the power of earnings calls. Whenever you have a company and they do good on earnings, the market tends to reward them, right? And you stand to make a whole lot of money behind certain earnings calls, depending upon what positions you have in the market on that particular stock. All right. And so what I'll do tomorrow when it all plays out, because I have a short-term option, which means I'm not going to sit on it and hold it. I got to figure out when I want to cash out. But whatever I do, whatever my account looks like, I'll probably take a screenshot and send it to you guys just so you can see, or I'll show it next week as well. Right? This is what we can do, right? So you can see it. All right. So with that said, yes.
Okay, so say if it goes down,
Mm-hmm.
all right, so are you gonna hold it and hope it goes up?
Mm-mm. No. If the market opens and that thing tanks for whatever reason, I'm outro. I'm not gonna wait because I don't, and I'll explain why. Once I explain options, I'll explain why I wouldn't hold it. My buy and hold, the actual shares, of course, sure, yeah. But my option, I'm outro. All right, and so and I'll explain why. Okay, so is all that clear? Does that make sense? What I'm explaining to you? Right. So I'm showing you because I'm wanting. I don't want to just talk about this stuff. I want to show you guys like real, like how, like at least for me, I'm actually in the market real time, right? And so, and because I'm in the market real time doing stuff, right? Like here is, right? Here's my calls, and then I'll show you what that looks like in the morning. Okay? Um, cool? Okay. All right, here we go. So here comes the next part. Um, One of the things that you want to do, and you'll want to do this definitely for this year and probably the next couple of years, and this is just a good thing to do long term. You should have and invest in precious metals. Okay.
Yeah, I heard silver went up this week.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Silver, gold, um, copper, platinum, all of those. You you just want to have some. Okay. And there's a couple different ways you can do it. Um, you can purchase companies that are that mine gold. Um, you can purchase companies that refine gold. You can purchase gold, what we call ETFs, right? I've explained to you guys what an ETF is, right? So you can purchase gold ETFs. Um, you can purchase, I think you can purchase silver ETFs, right? And then there's one other thing that you can do, and I need y'all to really, really hear me on this. Go purchase some actual gold or actual silver, right?
Mine gold, ETF,
Mm-hmm.
mine, what was the other one?
Refine. Mm-hmm. Okay. But you want to be somewhere in the gold and silver industry. Okay. Um, Several reasons for that. Several reasons. Gold doesn't do anything but go up over time. It just does. It like gold is at all-time highs right now. It's insane. The price for gold and the price for silver. Probably maybe about a month or two ago, silver was, I don't know. Silver. Hold on. Let me go back here and show you guys. Um, um, Okay, here we go. So this is something that I'm invested in now, which is this silver thing. So in 6 months, in 6 months, silver is up how much? 212%. Right? And so if you go where is six? So where is 6 months from where we are right now?
What?
Go 6 months back. What month are we in?
Only January,
So July. All right. So let's go back. So let's go back to July. So silver was right around $32 in July. Right? Yeah, somewhere around there, $32, something like that. Right now, silver is at 105.
Wow.
Insane. Right? Insane. Okay? And that's this particular asset. If you go and buy actual silver, it might be different. You're investing in a stock, right? So you can invest in silver this way. You can invest in a stock that is in the silver business, or you can go like Costco. They sell them. You can buy silver coins. You can buy gold at Costco. Costco sells everything, and so yeah, and so you can actually go buy it. Gold is really 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 expensive. Gold is like, I want to say, what is gold, like $4,000 an ounce or something right now? Like it's crazy.
I
It's
don't know, but I realized that they have gold bars that are like
yeah.
this small in paper
It's five. How much is it?
5,524.
An ounce. It's crazy, right? And that's not going to do anything but go up over time, right? And so why buy gold? Why buy precious metals? Several reasons. Number one, currently at this point, the dollar is losing value. Okay. And what that means is whenever the dollar loses value, what that means for us as people, as consumers, that means that the money that we have, it is no longer worth what it was worth when we got it. So I give an example. So let's say okay. All right. So let's say, all right. Okay, all right. So let's say let me use this. It's easier. But I don't want to touch it. Um,
You want me to get you a fork?
Right there.
okay, yeah, give me a fork. Okay. All right, here we go. So I'll give you an example. So let's say each one of these cubes of cheese is worth $1, right? So you spend $1, you get a cube of cheese, right? And so you got $10. How many cubes of cheese can you get? 10, right? Now, here's what happens when the dollar loses value. When the dollar loses value, you don't notice it because your dollar still says $1. But what happens is the price of the cheese goes up. And so now the cheese is $1.10. Right? So how many cheeses can you get with $10 now? yeah, yeah, it's going to be it's going right. You got to calculate that, but so in other words, you go to the store with the same amount of money, but you walk out with less product. Why? Because your dollar is not worth the same amount as when you went before, and I'm sure all of us have experienced that.
But does like foreign currency, when we go down, they go up in value?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Some of them, yes, but not necessarily. The one of the primary issues right now is the currency in Japan, the yen is crashing. Their economy is crashing. The big problem with that is that Japan is the number one holder of U.S. debt. If Japan crashes, the U.S. crashes. So the U.S. is sending billions of dollars to save Japan.
Another country we saving that they don't want everybody to know.
But because we're sending billions and billions of dollars over to save Japan, it's devaluing the worth of our own dollar. So what's happening, and this is happening in real time, because the question is why is gold so high and why is silver so high? Because investors, when the money market starts to look weird and the dollar loses value, people run and they're looking for safety.
Something that's gonna hold its value.
They're looking for something that's going to hold its value that is not the US dollar, because the US dollar goes up and down in value. Any currency around the world will go up and down in value. The only thing that holds its value no matter where you go is gold or silver. Right? And so, because gold and silver is worth so much in the U.S., but it is also worth so much in the U.K., it is also worth so much in Great Britain, it is also worth so much, right? And so, and it, yeah, and it's not, you can't, how can I say it? So major investors use gold as what they call a hedge against inflation. Why? Because if I buy gold and the value of the American dollar is going down, the value of my gold is going up. So I'm not losing any value. I'm actually gaining value. Does that make sense? Right? And so people are now trading dollars for gold, dollars for silver. And so, oh wow.
Because it's kind of universal, right? So like metals are universal.
Oh,
They
maybe
can
my
hold
computer.
value in every part of every land,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
an actual bill from America may not hold value in,
Correct.
such and
Correct.
such bill. So
Exactly. Because the money, the currency that we have in the US and really anywhere else around the world, that currency, and this is what you have to understand. Our currency, our dollars, right? Like this dollar, this, right? $20, right? This right here. This looks a certain way to us, but it only looks a certain way to us because we we put value to it. And so this is really just a piece of paper with ink on it. It's not worth anything. It is not worth the $20 that's printed on it. What makes it worth $20, what gives it value, is that it is backed, right? If you look on your dollar bill, it'll tell you this is a promissory note. What is a promissory note? It is a contract with the U.S. that the U.S. will back the value of this. But this really is not valuable at all. So what people do, because this will go up to value, down to value, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down. But if you got gold, you lose zero value. In fact, you gain when this goes down. Does that make sense? Right? And so right now, the dollar is being devalued. So really for the rest of the year, this is my particular belief, for the rest of the year, moving into 2027, 2028, as long as Trump is in office doing what Trump is doing, you're going to see these precious metal assets going up in value, and it would just do us well to have some. Okay? It would just do us well to have some. And so currently, what I did is, so there's one particular stock called GLD. So GLD is 494 right now. Okay, and they are up.
18.46, like 3.88%.
So year to date, so from January 1st to today, they're up 23%.
Oh, that's great.
Right?
Better in 6 months, 60.25%.
Exactly.
And then in 5 years, 182.
That's what I'm telling you. Gold doesn't do anything but go up over time. Okay? And so there's a more affordable one. And the more affordable one is another company called GDX. Right? So I'm looking at this one. This is an ETF, and this one, remember I told you can look at mined gold. So these are gold. This particular ETF invests in gold miners, right? If you look at the holdings, everybody in their holdings, these are miners of gold, and so this one right now is $112. So it's cheaper to do this one than the other one. Does that make sense? And actually, today, I took a position on this one, right? I opened up an option position on GDX, okay? And so if I go back, and I just want to show you, if I go back and I show you, right? Because one of the things and you'll learn this about me. One of the things I'm not going to do is I'm not going to show you guys things that I'm not doing myself. Why? Because I want to be able to say I'm doing this and it works. I don't know about stuff that don't work. So this is my options play in SLV, right? So this was my first venture. I only took out one contract. I took it out maybe a week and a half ago, and I'm up 107% on that contract already.
So you're holding that one?
Yeah, I'm going to hold this one.
Because I'm asking, that wasn't the reason that I was initially asking. I was just asking, but I'm asking now, is that because it's December of 26 that indicates that you're holding it?
What do you mean December of 26? You talking about this?
Yeah.
You'll understand that when I explain options. Yeah. Good question. Okay. But I just want you guys to see, right? So I'm telling you about the gold and the silver. I opened up a position in GDX today, and I opened up this position maybe about a week and a half ago in SLV. And so as of today, I'm up 107% on my option. The option itself, man, I didn't show it. Yeah, I didn't show it. I did so yeah, I cut off some numbers. But I wanted to show you what I paid for. Well, matter of fact, you can see right here. So I paid I think it was like 1,400 or something like that for the option itself, right? And so I'm at 107%. So my total gain right now is $1,500, which is 100% of what I put in it, right? So now if I cashed it out, I cash out right under 3,000. Does that make sense? All right. And so that's in like a week and a half with SLV. So that's how fast these things are going and moving. And once again, just for my recommendation for the rest of the year, you might want to think about trying to figure out how to own some of the precious metal assets. Why are they important? Because they serve as a hedge against inflation. They serve as a hedge against the devalued dollar. And the reality is this. Without these precious metals, we have no computers. Without these precious metals, we have no AI. Without these precious metals, we have there's no turbines. You literally can't do anything mechanical wise or anything else. We have no weapons, right? Without these precious metals. And you got to get them from somewhere. And there's a international fight on where you get this stuff from now, right? Because China's being stingy, and there's a lot of stuff that's really kind of going on. And what Trump is trying to do, and to a degree, you can't fault the guy. To a degree. Because what he's trying to do is he's trying to position America in such a way where America is not trailing other countries in leading the world and being the one in power and all that kind of stuff. And I know there's a whole lot of pushback and all that. That's the thing, and I get it, but yeah. And I get that, I do, but here's my point. I live here.
I know that ain't something.
Right? I live here. And I'm not a Trumper. I don't like him, but I do want him to win. Right? Why? Because if he wins, I win. If he wins, we win. Right? And I don't mean winning an election. I'm talking about doing things policy-wise. Now, I'm totally against all,
He's about making America win.
Making America win. Yeah, I want America to win because I live here, right? But I don't want us to win by stepping on the little guy and doing all the crazy stuff, right? but make no mistake about it. Like we don't know what it's like to live in a country that is not the top country in the world. And I don't know if you want to find out. Yeah. So and I know that what I'm saying may be a controversial statement, but hopefully you hear my heart is I do want America to win. I wanted America to win when Obama was the president. I wanted America to win when Biden was the president. I wanted America to win when Nixon was the president. You know what I mean? I don't like some of these guys, and I don't like what they do, and I don't support it. But overall, I do want us to be able to win as a country, and I think we can win without crushing other people and killing people. Like, we should be able to do that, okay? So hopefully that makes sense, right? So I don't support the imperialist part of America, but I do want us to win.
So, just recently I heard that Trump is talking about stopping these big corporations from buying all of these houses.
Yes.
I want you to talk about that, and what do you think that that's going to do with, like ETFs, right? Because ETFs, there's a lot of ETFs around, property, right? And so, do you think that that's going to give an adverse reaction to the stock exchange when he made those types of like commitments and stuff like that?
I'm not sure. To be honest, I'm not sure. I like that he said that.
I did.
Yeah, I thought that was. I have them coming in, and they come in to cities and developments, and they're buying up whole developments and all this kind of stuff. Like it shrinks the. It's basic economics, right? It shrinks the supply, so that when you have little supply and big demand, the prices go up, and it's making home affordability impossible for a lot of people, right? But
This new, the mayor or that's trying to go and everything, he was talking about that too. He was like, I'm going to stop the price gouging. Well, no, he said he was going to stop the big companies from buying the houses and make them more affordable for Bay Area residents. What's his name again?
Newsom?
No, he's running. Yeah, he's running. I think is it Vera Ghost? Somebody, anyway. He
You talking about the new guy that's running for California, the California seat?
Yeah.
So there's two of them. There's one, like, my daughter really likes one of the guys.
And then there's a woman. She's running for. Her name is I don't know. What's the guy?
Yeah.
Sounds like Kennedy, the Kennedy guy. That's he got.
Yeah, there's one guy who's like a super rich dude, and he been having commercials for years, and he's like one of them. When you listen to him, he's like, man, I can tell this is one of them no nonsense, like I'm in your face, like right. And so, and I forget his name too. But then there's another guy I know my daughter likes, and she was trying to tell me about him because I think she was saying that he's like a social worker or something like that, but he's an activist, and she really likes him, and so so I get it. I applaud all of those efforts if we're gonna make housing more affordable for people, especially in California, because the real estate market is dead, and it's been dead. It was dead all last year, for sure. Yeah, it was super dead, and so something has to happen and transpire in order to re-spark people with the ability to purchase property, especially in California, and a lot of us in California, a lot of people are moving, and we moving to Texas, we moving to Arizona, we moving to Nevada, we moving to Vegas, we moving to, well, that's Nevada. Well, we're moving back south, Tennessee, Mississippi, Georgia, Carolinas, and a lot of people are moving back there, and back there they don't like us either because we're showing up with California money. and we show up with California money, and we become like the new BlackRock. So they out there scratching, trying to buy a house, and then we show up, yeah, because we done sold something out here, and we showing up with 200 racks, right, looking for a 17-bedroom house, and you know what I mean? We dropping cash, and they like, man, you from California, huh? Right? And because we go to a lot of these cities, like in droves, we're doing the same thing BlackRock is doing. We're as California, we're running up the prices.
They're not
Prices
as
is
cheap
going up. They're
as
not
they
as
used
cheap
to
no
be.
They
more.
not.
It was 2 or 3, now they 4.
Yeah.
They're like going up.
Yeah, they going up. So, so something has to give to Steyer. That's his name. That's the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, big philanthropist. That's what I'll throw at people who I think shady. Oh, you a philanthropist?
When he was talking about the housing market, I know
No, I
that.
know, but he, the commercial, he needs to be in the yellow shirt and talk about.
Didn't Tom Steyer run for president too?
I don't think he ran for president. But
Oh, he said he sought the Democratic
Yeah,
president.
oh, he did?
ran for the Democratic
Oh.
Party. He didn't run. Yeah, he
Oh,
tried
okay.
to get it.
Oh, he didn't run for president. He tried to get the nomination. Okay. Gotcha.
When
That's when they had 100 of them all in.
Yeah. It was a gang of them.
back when it was 5,000 of them
Yeah.
out there, and they was all
But I
trying to get.
remember his name. He was
Yeah.
one of the ones trying to run.
Yeah, it was a gang of them.
Galvanized climate solutions.
Yeah. All right. What I'll do, and maybe I'll do this next week. I'll bring in a more robust presentation about precious metals and why those are important, so that you can understand the historical and the current events of what's happening and what's going on. So I'm not just telling you, hey, buy this, right? But you guys are able to see it and make it, make the decision that you guys need to make. But I just want you to know that's the direction that I'm moving in myself, right? Is becoming more familiar with that investment class and putting some of my money over there and letting it go and build. So this one contract that I have with SLV, what I'm about to do is do what's called stacking contracts. And so I have one contract now, but I'm probably going to, now that I'm at 100%, what I'm probably going to do is buy 2 more. And then when I get, and then if I get to 100% on those 2, then I'll buy 3 more, right? And so each one is stacking. And if I get to 100% on the second contract, this one will be at 200%. Does that make sense? So I got to think: do I want to do it every 50% or every 100%? And so I'll just play it like that, and then I'll stack the contracts, and then I can sell them when I need to. So, any other questions about that? Was that simple enough? Clear enough? Okay, all right. So let me give you a brief overview of options. Okay. So let me explain options to you in terms of what it is, so when I talk about it, you guys aren't like, what? All right. So an option. Man, I wish I had a whiteboard to write stuff down. Okay, so an option. How can I explain it? Okay, so I'm going to have to use this again. All right, not right now, but I'll use it in a few minutes. Okay, so all right, so on your paper, I want you to write options. And then I want you to write the word okay. So I want you to write option, and then I want you to write the word responsibility. No, write the word. Yeah, so you want to, under options, I want you to write the word right, R-I-G-H-T, or rights, R-I-G-H-T, rights. And then under that, I want you to write the word obligation. Okay? Bless you. Okay, everybody ready? All right, so whenever you get into an option, right? An option, whenever you hear people talk about options, you're going to hear this word. You're going to hear contract. An option is a contract. It's an agreement, okay? And so when you say option, what we're talking about is a contract. Now, what we're not talking about is a physical contract where you lay it out and there's terms and conditions and you sign, they sign, right? That's not what we're talking about, okay? A contract, everything now it's an online thing, right? And you purchase an option like you purchase a stock, okay? You just pay the money and then you get the contract. That's it, okay? So it's like purchasing a stock, okay? And so what is it? An option is where I have the right, first word on your thing, where I have the right, as the purchaser of the option, I have the right to purchase, I have the right to control, there it is, 100 shares of a particular stock. Okay? I have the right to control 100 shares of a particular stock. Okay? Now, when we get into options in a deeper way, you're going to want me to explain this all over again, and I will. Okay? So, 100 shares of stock. Okay? So whenever you do an options contract, you're always purchasing the right to control 100 shares of a stock. So options only work in shares of 100, bundles of 100. Okay? It only works in bundles of 100. Everybody with me? Okay, here we go. So if I purchase an options contract, it is an agreement where I have the right to control 100 shares of stock. And that control can look a couple different ways. So I have the right to purchase 100 shares from you at a certain price, right? I can do that. I have the right to do that. I can purchase 100 shares from you at a certain price. Okay? Or I also have the right to sell the contract. Right? I can just sell the contract. I don't have to purchase the shares. I can sell the contract. That makes sense so far? Y'all with me so far? Okay? Now, if you are, so let's say Terry has, so each one of these blocks of cheese represents 100 shares of cheese stock, right? Cheese company, right? And so I come to Terry and I say, okay, Miss T, I want to buy, right? She got all these shares. This Terry owns all these shares. She has 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. She has 700, 800, 900. She has 1,000 shares of cheese company, right? When I come to her to do an options contract, I'm purchasing the right to control 100 shares. Y'all with me? What she's doing is she's renting out her shares to me. You got it?
She's renting them,
Yes, to me.
but she's not gonna get money for the ones that she rented to you.
Yeah. I have to pay her. Yeah. Right? So I trust me. Just flow with me. I'm explaining it really, really slow because I want you guys to get each concept and let it sink in.
Okay.
I promise you we gonna head to all them, and when you hear it all, y'all gonna be like, hey, teach us options. By the time I finish this, okay, here we go. So Terry got 1,000 shares of Cheese Company, right? So I come in and I say, man, Terry got 1,000 shares of cheese. Terry, let me get 100 of them things. And she say, I'll rent them to you. I said, okay. So I pay her the rental fee, and she lets me control 100 shares. Now, they're not my shares. I don't own them. I only control them. They are still her shares. Just like when you rent an apartment, that is not your place. Right? You control it, but you don't own it. You with me?
Should I ask a question now?
Yes, that would be good.
Because what can you control with it?
I can because I have the right to do two things.
You was thinking the same thing.
I can purchase these 100 shares from her. And if I decide to purchase them, she has to sell them to me. Because she rented them to me, she has to sell them to me. She has no choice but to sell these shares to me if I say I want to buy the shares. I purchased that right. And she's obligated, that's your other word, she's obligated to sell them to me.
So,
She's renting them to you.
Yes.
You're paying her a certain amount of money.
Yes.
To rent them.
Yep.
And then you say you want to buy them. So then you're going to pay her some more money.
Yes. To purchase the rest of the shares. Minus the money I gave her to rent them.
But how are you making any money just renting it?
And that's what I was just about to say, because that seemed like that's kind of like, so now, if you saying that you got that and you're making that much money, but then that doesn't even include what you have to pay her for renting the stocks, right?
Yeah,
But you paid up front, right?
I paid up front for the trust me, we gonna get to it. When we get to it, y'all gonna be like, oh. Okay? So just hang on a second. We'll get there. All of your questions will be answered shortly. Just understand the small pieces first. Okay? It's all coming together. Okay? Okay. All right, okay, here we go. So Rosanna has 100 shares of Cheese Company, or 1,000 shares of Cheese Company. And each one of these blocks represents 100 shares. So I say, Rosanna, let me get 100 of them shares. And you say, okay, they're going to cost you this much. So I pay you a fee, and you give me control of 100 shares. I have the right, because I control it, I have the right, if I want to come back to you and say, sell me them shares. And if I say, Rosanna, sell me them shares, you are obligated to sell me these shares. Or I can take our agreement, the contract, right? Because you rented them to me. And I can say, okay, man, I'm finna sell these to Messina. And I have the right to sell our agreement to Messina. And now she has control.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Can I rent them to Messina?
No. I can only sell them.
But can I sell them? But okay, so if I purchase them from Terry, then I can sell them.
Then you can sell them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So right now you're renting.
Right now we renting, right? So is everybody clear with that?
So I
Does
can't
that make
sell
sense?
that, but I can
Yeah,
buy
I'm
it
trying to
and
put
then
that
rent
in
it to.
context
Okay.
to, like, when you said that you paid $5,100 for the contract.
I know that's coming.
Okay, so when you still haven't gotten there yet when you
Yes.
sell the,
Yeah, we hadn't gotten there yet.
okay.
Okay? We coming to it. Trust me. Just understand the first parts, the basic parts, and then it'll all, listen, it's going to come together. Okay? So, you got it? 1,000 shares of Cheese Company. I want 100. You sell me, or you rent me 100 shares. I go away with my 100, and then I got stuff. I got to think about something. Do I want to buy these shares from you, or do I want to take this contract and sell it to somebody else? Because I can sell it to anybody. It's my right. And you have to do whatever I say. You cannot not sell me these shares, or you cannot stop me from selling the contract to somebody else.
But is there an expiration date on the contract?
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't buy them before the expiration date, do you have to give it back?
So that's what
Yes.
that is right there. That's your time schedule. Okay. See?
Let's get that coming together. Okay, all right, here we go. So that's the first part. You got the first part? Here comes the second part. Go back to Miss T. T has 1,000 shares of Cheese Company. I want to come and I want to purchase, I want to rent 100 shares. She rents me 100 shares. Now, here's the key. The way this works is I'm sitting here. So the question is, why do I want to rent the shares? Right? You got to ask that question. Why do you even want to rent the shares? Because I've been watching the Cheese Company. And I noticed them shares, they've been going up. And them shares right there, listen, a year ago, that Cheese Company, that stock in the cheese, that thing was 50 cents. Right now, it's $10. I'm like, dang, that's a heck of an increase. So I'm looking and I say, okay, Miss Terry, rent me 100 of them shares because I think, Miss T, I think them shares are going to go for $15 in about 6 months. And so Terry says, you think so? I think so. I think they going for $10 now. I think in 6 months, them shares going to go, listen, them cheese blocks, listen, they're going to be worth $15 in 6 months. And so Terry says, okay, you want to rent them? I say, yep. Give me the right to purchase 100 of these for $15 in 6 months. She goes, okay, that's a no-brainer, right? Because I'm going to give her what's called a premium, okay? I'm going to pay her a premium. That's a rent. That's the rental fee,
Is that
right?
a one-time or a monthly fee?
That's a one-time fee. I pay her a premium, okay? The premium that I pay her, she keeps, right? Forever. It's hers, okay? Now, when she does that, I get the control of the 100 shares. You with me so far? Now, watch this. Let's say in 6 months, these shares aren't selling for 15, they're selling for 25. She has an agreement with me where I can purchase 100 for 15. But now they're selling for 25.
But I can still get them for 15.
I can still get them at the low.
Oh, shoot. That is awesome.
I can still get them at the 15. And she has to sell them to me for the 15. Because I got a contract.
So the 15 is not the premium.
No, the premium is a portion of the 100 shares. So for instance, if all of these shares, so she owns 1,000 shares. If each one of these 1,000 shares is going for $10, 100 of these is $1,000. So what I may end up paying her is $100 for the contract. Even though the shares are worth 1,000, I pay her 100 to rent them.
How do you guys come to that?
She sets the price. Yeah, she sets the price. So she may say, man, I ain't doing nothing with them shares anyway. Give me $100. All right, I give you $100, right? So I give you $100, but my agreement is I have the right to purchase these from you in 6 months for $15. If the shares are going for 20, 25, 30, 35 in that 6 months, she can't sell them to me for that price. She got to do what the contract say. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You see it now? Okay.
The whole piece was missing was that she set the price.
Yeah, she set the price. All right. Okay. Now watch this. Let's say I got the right to purchase these shares, but I also have the right to sell the contract, because let's say we're going along and, man, at the first month I buy the contract and I tell Miss T, listen, I'm gonna get them off of you in about 6 months for $15. And the first month, listen, them shares selling for $15 in the first month, the value of the contract now, it ain't $100 no more. The value of the contract may be $150. Because she not charging for the same contract, she not charging $10. Right? Or whatever. No, $10. She's not charging $1. She's charging $1. Maybe she's charging $1.25 now. So my contract is worth more. Does that make sense? That's why I might sell it to somebody else, because now my contract is worth more than what I paid her for it. Therefore, if I sell it to Messina, she may be like, man, listen, give me them shares. I'm watching it too. Give me them shares. And if she says I'll pay $125, and I say, okay, give me $125, right? $1.25 a share. She's gonna pay me $1.25 for 100 shares. I've paid her $1 per share for 100 shares. I gave her $100. She about to give me $125. I didn't just make 25 quick dollars. Y'all with me? Okay. Now, here we go. Here it is. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I made an agreement with SLV to sell me 100 shares of SLV at $100 by December 31st of this year. So I'm saying I think SLV will be at $100 by December 31st. So I have a contract with them that if I wanted to buy the 100 shares, they gotta sell them to me for $100 a share, which would be $10,000. They gotta sell them to me for the 100. Well, we just learned right now it's at 117. So I'm in the money right now, right? So I paid $14 for the contract. Now, $14 is $14 per share, so that's $1,400, right? Because you can only buy them in groups of 100. So I paid $1,400 for the contract, but since the price of SLV has gone up, my contract is not worth $14 anymore. My contract is now worth $29.25. Are y'all with me? This making sense? Right? So now the value of my contract has gone up. And since the value of my contract has gone up, if I wanted to sell this today, I can sell it for this price, get that, and then clear this. So I get back my original premium plus bingo. Y'all with me? I can still purchase it at $100. If by December 31st, if SLV is going for $500 a share, which I desperately wish and hope, if it's going for $500 a share, I'm only gonna pay $100.
And they gotta sell it to you.
They gotta sell it to me. Because I got the right. They obligated, right? Yep, you got to give it to me at the low. You know what I mean? So Benita goes shopping. She's a shopper. Benita goes in, and Benita sees some boots, and man, them boots, listen here. Them boots on sale. Them boots at $150. Benita's like, I don't know. But then the dude at the store says, okay, how about this? Give me $15 and I'll put these to the side for you. And you can decide whether you want to come back and get them later or not. Benita say, all right. She put $15 on it. Benita looks up 2 months from now and them same boots is going for $250. Now she got a choice. She can go in there with her agreement, and they got to sell her them boots for $150. Or she can walk somebody else in there and say, right?
Selling them to her.
I'm selling them to her. You know what I mean? This my layaway. Listen, this my sister want them. Give them to her, right? Or she could say, she gonna buy them for the $250, right? She bring in somebody else who's willing to buy it for the $250. But no. Is that right? Did I say that right? Did I say that right, y'all? Yeah, there you go. Huh? Yeah, she'll pay me. There it is. There it is.
I buy them for $150 and then I turn around and sell them to somebody else.
Bingo. See? Y'all know this better than me.
Can you do options with dividend stock?
Mm-hmm. You can do options with almost anything.
And then do I get the dividend money?
Not until you purchase the stock. Yeah. You gotta purchase it. All right.
Get that dividend while I'm renting the stock.
All right. And so I will. Did all that make sense?
Making sense.
Okay, it's making sense. It's all coming together. You're understanding it a little. I told you, when we get into options in a deeper way, you're going to want me to explain all this over again, and I will. But I just want to give you a brief overview so you can understand, okay? So a couple key terms. Whenever you decide on a price to purchase the stock, that's called a strike price, okay? Huh? Oh, man. All right, so you have what's called a strike price, right? So the strike price is the agreed upon price that you set the contract up on. So I would say it's the contract price, right? So strike price is the contract price. Now, here's the other thing. Whenever you do options, you have to purchase time. You gotta say how long. Now, here's the thing. The more time you purchase, the more expensive the option. The less time you purchase, the least expensive the option. Okay? Why? Because anything that puts the odds in your favor is going to cost you more money. Okay? The more risk you take, they reward you for taking risks. So you get a cheaper price. Okay? And so if you're doing options, so for instance, let's say, same example, let's say Terry has a cheese company. The cheese is going for $10 a pop. So I want to control 100 shares. That's $1K, right? That I'm controlling. I give her a $100 premium, right? My strike price is $15, right? And my time is 6 months. Got it? That's the agreement. Yeah, so this is the value. Yep, this is the value of the stock I'm purchasing. Because I'm purchasing I'm purchasing the right to control 100 shares at $10 a piece. There you go, right? So the value is $1,000. I pay her a $100 premium. My strike price is $15 in 6 months. Got it? Okay. Now, I can take everything and keep it the same, just about, until I change the time. Because if I move the time from 6 months to 9 months, now the value of the contract is going to go up, because it's it's not a value for Terry to wait for me to decide what to do for 9 months for $100. So for her, she's going to want probably $150 for the extra 3 months. Are you with me? Does that make sense? It's just a flat 150.
So would that be a total of 250 you gave her? Or is it 100 for the 6 months, then you have to give her $50 more for the additional 3 months?
No, all I'm saying is so this is one scenario. So if, let's say we do a deal and the deal is just a 6-month deal, my premium is probably about $100, right? I'm just making it up. But let's say we don't do this, but we decide to do all of this, but instead of 6 months, it's 9 months. The value of the premium is going to go up at that point, because you're going to want more money for the renting of the shares. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. And so, all right. So let me, I'm going to show you this in real time. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let me show you this in real time. Okay, so can you put it back on this one? No. Hold on, let me stop my thing because it's probably still in. Yeah, okay. Boom, boom. Okay, we got it? Okay, so give me a company. Okay, here. Oh, come on now. All right, here's Clorox. Clorox is going for $108 right now. Okay, so I'm on E-Trade. So if I want to see what the options contracts look like, then I come down here to what's called the options chain. Okay, so I click options, and it takes me to this page. Okay, so this page is where what you see here, all of this is what's called an options chain. Okay? Is everybody clear with that? Let me blow it up a little bit so you can see it. Okay? Now, let me explain a couple other things about options. And here's a interesting thing about options. You can make money in the stock market when the stock is going up, and you can also make money when the stock is going down with options, okay? And how do you do it? Back to the screen. This is what you call a call, okay? Calls are when you are saying, right, it's when you're anticipating the stock is going to go up. If you want to do options, you would purchase what we call a call option, meaning I believe the stock is going to go up, okay? On the other side is what's called puts, a put option. This is when, if you say, nah, I believe the stock is going to go down. Man, Terry got them cheese joints over there, and they going for $10 right now. Man, listen, in 6 months, I think them things going to be going for $7. And I can pay her betting that her stock goes down. And I can still make money that way. Right? And so the way I win is if the stock tanks. Right? That's how I win. Right? But on call options, I win if the stock goes up. Now, myself, personally, I probably 95% of my options are call options. I don't really play around with put options. The reason why is, number one, it's a different strategy to do put options. I don't like them too much. It's a different strategy for it. And it takes a lot of attention for me to be able to do put options comfortably. And to me, put options are going opposite of the market. What I mean by that is the stock market is rigged to go up about 70 to 75% of the time. So I want to be where the stock market is probably going, right? Now, there's some times where you know the market is coming down, right? Something happened in the market, you heard some news, something like that or whatever, and so you can just anticipate, it's probably going to be choppy for the next, and then you can come in and do some puts if you like and try to clean up some money or whatever, okay? You do time on both. Yep.
So puts is more like you go to Las Vegas and you start gambling.
No, well,
Kind of, because you just said I could bet on you to lose or win, right?
yeah, I'm using the term bet, but I don't really mean bet because
Forecast.
yeah, because I would never recommend so much that we get into an option, even though I just contradicted myself today, that we should never get into an option where we're gambling, right? Where it's, we just kind of, and, I hope it goes, okay, there it is, right? Or, right? Like, we should enter into positions based upon sound reasoning, logic, and all that. And even though I took a gamble today, it was a calculated gamble. In my mind, it was calculated because, number one, I'm paying attention to Meta's earnings history over the last 2 years. And I paid attention to how they did in earnings all last year, how much they actually beat earnings, and the one area that they missed, it was only because they had a special payment that they had to make. And if they didn't have to make that payment, everything would have been fine. So, and there's nothing else wrong with the company. There's no news. There's nothing that came out nothing. So it's like, okay, well, this will probably be a blast of an earnings call because there's nothing that's in the way, right? And I was right, okay? And so even that is calculated. Like I didn't just, okay, right? It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't that, all right? And so here we go. So watch this. So this is Clorox, okay? Now, let me explain this part. Is this interesting, y'all? Finding it? Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm on E-Trade. Dave, what happened?
Wiggle it again.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So let me sit down and do this part. Okay. So here we go. Are you guys able to see my mouse move? Okay. All right. Here we go. So, up here on the options chain, you have time slots. Okay. And so you can pick how far out you want to go
Oh, for your option?
for your option. Okay. And so you see right here where it's shaded? Where it's shaded right here?
It's shaded right there?
Yeah. Oh,
The
you can
red number?
you can know. Starting at 105 is shaded going up. I can see it on my computer. It may not show up. You can see it? Yeah, it's barely. Oh, you can see it over there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So you see how it's shaded from 105 up? Okay, this is what you call, this is another technical term, this is what you call in the money. Okay, in the money. So in the money means that you're buying a contract that is already profitable. Okay, it's already profitable. That's in the money. Why is it already profitable? Because it's already past the strike price. Right? So if the strike price is 105 and it's at 108, it's already past the strike price. Right? If it's at 90, well, this is at 108. So it's already past the strike price. So you can buy what are called in the money calls, if you like. They're more pricey. Right? Why? Because you're buying a contract that already has value attached to it. So that's safer. The safer you are, the more it costs you.
Can I get out of my option before my time is up?
You can get out of your option anytime you want. It is your option. Yep. All right. And so, all right. So here we go. So 105. That's the strike price, but it's already at 108. So this is what you would call, everything up here is what you would call in the money. We clear? Okay. Everything down here that's not covered, this is called out of the money. So if you purchase down here, these are going to be cheaper. Okay? But what you're banking on is that the stock is going to go up to reach one of these strike prices. Okay? Yes.
Is that number for one share? So if I get that, that's gonna be $10,500.
Which one? Which number are you looking at?
105. So is that 105 for one share? And so then I'm paying the 100 times that?
No. Give me a second. I'll get there. All right. And so let's say, I want to give you guys an example. Okay? So let's say we go to April 17th. Okay? And let's say we want to enter a play for $110 strike price. What you're saying is, by April 17th, I believe Clorox is going to be going for $110, right? So you purchase this option right here for 110. So we look at the bid price, and let's say you win the bid. The bid price is $5.30 a share. This is going to cost you $530 for the 100 shares. So what you have is what's called a bid price and an ask price. The ask price is what, so Terry owns the cheese company. There you go. Right? And so the question is, if you put in an offer for $550, will she accept it even though she wants $750? Because she has before she goes into the contract, she has an option. Okay? Or not take it, right. All right. And so let's say we do the 110, and let's say they agree to our price at $5.30 times 100, that would be $530. Does that make sense? So I would own a contract to control 100 shares of Clorox all the way until April the 17th, and what I'm banking on is that it's going to be at $110. It's already at 108. It only has to go up $2 more.
At the top.
At the top.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
Can you yourself put in a bid, or is the bid something that's automatically put there from some type of like scientific reason?
No, that's a good question. The bids that they put here are determined by what people have been paying.
Okay, so you can't put in your own bid price.
You can.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, it's called a limit order. You can set whatever you can say. Let me give you 50 cents. You can put that in there. It ain't gonna get accepted, but you can put it in there.
Okay.
All right. And I'll show you all that. Okay, but here we go. So I just wanted you to keep in mind, we're talking about April 17th, right? From today, April 17th. If you do the 110, and they accept the 530, that's gonna cost you $530 for this option. You with me? Okay, now watch this. Let's say we go to January 2027, right? So we got a whole year. That same 110 is going to cost you what now?
Oh, because it's a longer contract.
Because it's a longer, you're buying time. And so now, why is time important? Time is important because you don't know what the market is going to do. And if the market takes a dip down, you want to have enough time under your belt to recover.
So, okay, going back to the April 17th. What if it hits 110 before April the 17th? Then what? Cash that baby.
You can sell it.
So it reaches it in March. And so you can sell it before that. Okay.
Yep. You
Can't sell it afterwards.
You just can't sell it after March 17th because at that point, everything gonna take over, and if you got money in your account, it may sell it to you, and you didn't ask it to, or more than likely, it's going to cash you out and it's going to release the shares back to the holder.
Can I extend it?
You can,
I can.
yeah.
For the same amount of money.
No. You got to pay more money. Yep. You got to pay more money.
Oh, I got it.
Yep, but you can extend it. And there's people who's done that. There's people who entered a trade and then the trade didn't go the way that they wanted it to, and they're down on the trade, and the date is approaching, and so, but they really, really, really believe in the company. So what they'll do is they'll add more time and pay more money in hopes that the stock will recover, and then they can cash out of everything, right?
Once you reach 417 and it didn't hit the 110, do you lose your 530?
Not necessarily. So this is the great thing about options. You can only lose your premium. You cannot lose more than your premium.
Explain that to me.
So if I paid $530 for this contract, and it doesn't, and I'm not profitable, and it goes down, it doesn't matter how far it goes down, I can only lose the 530. It cannot reach into my account and pull out more. Right? I can only lose the money that I put up for a premium.
So if I want to give it back to the person that I rented it from, I'm good. I'm just out the 530 I gave them, but I'm good. I'm nothing else.
Nothing else. Yep. That's the great thing about an option is that you're not overextended where you can lose a whole lot more money. You only lose the money that you've put in. Yeah. And so that's the great thing. And so
Most likely you won't lose all of it, right? Because if it doesn't go up to the 110,
correct. Most times, even if a stock drops, most times it doesn't go to zero. It won't take your account. Sometimes it will. It will take your account to zero. But most times it doesn't. Most times this kind of gets into strategy. And so whenever you start doing options, you have to have a strategy of when to get out, right? And so you have to set a limit that you're willing to be down. Is your limit 20%? Is your limit 30%? Is it 50%? Right? What's your limit to be down? And so there's some trades where I got out of a trade today because they had a great market. They had a great earnings call. I don't know what happened, but when the market opened, that thing started tanking. And I was up 42%, and in 15 minutes, my account is down like 15%. So I just sold it, right? And I'm wishing I would have sold it yesterday because then I'd have had a cool $1,000. But anyway, but yeah, so I just sold it because I wanted to preserve my capital, right? But I've had other accounts where, like my account, I had one account, that thing was down like 72%. Couple days, that thing came right back though, right? But normally I don't let stuff get that low, because ain't no telling if it's gonna turn around, and you fool around and lose 72% of your premium. That's capital gone, right? And some of these capitals aren't cheap. I mean, some of these premiums aren't cheap, right? So I'll give an example, and then hold on, what time we got? Okay, all right, we almost done. We didn't get to no computer work anyway. So let me give an example of what I mean. Let's do Meta, right? Let's do Meta, okay? So let's do the options chain. Let's go here, just right quick. Boom, right? All right, here we go. Can you see the screen clear? Okay, all right, here we go. All right, so let's say, so this is what I did today. I did February 20th, I think, for my Meta option, right? And I think I did 670 strike price. And so what did I tell y'all I paid? $21 or something like that? Or what did I pay? I forget what I paid. But anyway, so you see the prices, right? So this is Meta to February 20th, right? They're currently at 668. If you went to 670, you're going to pay $30 per share times 100 shares, which is how much? 3,000. Right? That's pricey. But now watch this. Let's say, now this is what I really want to do, right? I really want to take Meta all the way out to December 2028. I want to put a 2-year option on Meta because I think Meta is going to get to $1,000, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out 2 years, and then I'm going to pick, because it's me, I want to be in the money as soon as possible. So I'm going to pick 670, but guess how much this is now?
Ooh, that's 19,000.
That's 19,000, wow. Right?
So what's the difference between the top shaded versus the bottom that's not shaded?
This is what's called in the money. It's already past the strike price.
Oh.
And this is not. Okay? So if I put a 2-year option on this one, now notice we just went from 3,000 to 19,000, and the only thing we did different was we added time. Right? But I'm telling you, I'm far more comfortable spending 19,000 for 2 years on 670 than I am spending 3,000 on a month for 670. I'm far more comfortable. Huh? It's far less risky with Meta.
So you think,
Because one, you
at
can retake it
668
whenever you
now,
feel like it.
and you don't think in a month they'll get to 670?
Oh, they're going to be 670 when the market open tomorrow.
Why are you less comfortable at less than a month?
I'm talking if I don't know what just happened after the market today, if I'm just looking at it like I want to put some money in Meta, I want to kind of bet on them, I'm far more comfortable taking 19,000 and putting it on Meta to reach 670 in 2 years, right? At that point, I don't care what the market does. I don't. We can be in a recession. I don't care, right? Because I got 2 years. I got 2 years for it to recover. I'm sleeping good. You know what I mean? And so because you don't lose money, even though your account shows negative, you don't lose money until you sell.
And then, being honest with yourself, you put it till December 2028.
Mm-hmm.
99% chance you gonna take it out before December 28th.
Yeah, 100% chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear because I want to make sure I'm on the same track with your mind, your thinking.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I'm almost ready, y'all.
Yeah. And then there and then there
For me to,
and
do something with my money.
I get you. And then there's strategies to this, right? And so I'll give you one strategy and I'll let you guys go. Miss Terry gonna fall asleep on me. She got to get up and go to work. Okay, here we go. So one of the strategies, and again, all of this is based on affordability, right? So one of the strategies is, let's say I go 2 years out. We just playing with ridiculous numbers right now. So let's say we go 2 years out, right? And let me explain this. See this number right here, open interest, and then over here, volume. This is what this means. Whenever you choose an option, you always want to choose one with pretty big open interest. What does that mean? This shows you the number of contracts that are currently open for these positions. You don't want to ever pick anything that has 1 or 0. Why? Because if you need to sell it, ain't nobody to sell it to. Right? And so you always want to go with more of a sizable open interest. And then volume, this shows you how many of these contracts were purchased today.
Oh, okay.
Right? So somebody purchased 15 contracts today with a strike price of $680, and they paid $19,200 per, and they bought 15 of them joints. 15 of them sold today. There's people out here with money, y'all. Right? And so here's the strategy if you can afford it, okay? Is if you can afford it. When you're first starting, you buy one contract. Why? You put your feet in. You test your strategy. You make sure you're good, right? And you see what happens, okay? You watch it. You check it. You buy some time. You get comfortable, right? Once you get your foot in there a little bit, once you build up your reserves, you always want to buy at least 2 contracts. Why? Because let's say you pay, let's do $670. So let's say you pay $19,600 for the contract, and you buy 2, right? Now you paying about $40,000, almost $40,000, right? Now watch this. Let's say you bought this today, right? Some of these people bought this today because they were playing the earnings.
And then tomorrow they about to be.
Tomorrow, it's gonna be some.
That's gonna go from a -70 to a positive.
Listen, it's people gonna be happy tomorrow, and so what's going to happen is this. So watch this. Let's say I paid the 19.6. I got 2 contracts. I paid almost 40. That thing runs. I look at my account. I'm up 100%. What that means is I'm up $19,600. What do? You sell one of the contracts. You sell one of the contracts and you get your original 19, plus you get your additional 19. And now you got your money out for both contracts and now you're playing with house money. So you have the contract, but you're not risking a dime because the market already gave you all your money back. Does that make sense? Yeah. So there's strategies to it. Okay? All right. So that's just an overview of options. Hopefully that was.
That was good, because I didn't know what options was at all, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right. So next time, I promise you, I will get back to the computer work. So. Well, see, I could tell y'all all kind of stuff. I want you to be able to find it for yourself and research it and look it. Absolutely. Absolutely.